All right, folks, welcome to Wani and Metal Nation Radio. With us today, we have Ian Campbell of Culture Killer. The new bands got signed to Metalblade Records. So, how the hell are you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Oh, wonderful. Now, before we talk about how it all happened, I really want to know what's the excitement level in the band right now, keeping in mind that Theories of Mankind is about to be released in just few weeks.
We're all incredibly excited for that. I don't think any of us have actually like really put out an album like a full length in
Yeah.
any like band that we've been in since we started playing music.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's coming out on Metal Blade and more people are seeing it and like have that chance to check it out, that's just incredible. We're incredibly excited.
That's wonderful. Now, first album always leaves a mark on the mind of a listener. Now, that's very important for you guys as a band because it should leave its stamp on on your fans. So, there's been a long way since you guys have put so much tremendous amount of work and devotion, and finally, the debut album is ready. So, how much of the band's journey so far does this album reflect?
um, it reflects a lot. Like when the band first started, it was kind of just like we all had our main serious bands,
Mhm.
and we're like, well, let's start Culture Killer as like a side project. Let's just have fun, do whatever we want,
Okay.
play cool shows. We're like, all right, and then people started really liking it, so we're like, okay, we'll take it a little bit seriously, and then we had these songs written after our first EP that we had
Denial.
we were gonna make another EP,
Hmm.
and then the whole Metal Blade thing happened, and they came into the picture, and then we decided just to run with a full length and kind of put songs that we were working on, and just like totally rewrite them or make them longer or make them better, and I don't know, that the fact that Metal Blade was reaching out to us and they wanted to work with us, it just like pushed everyone in gear like times 1,000,
Hmm.
and everyone just pushed themselves as musicians, and we all push each other's buttons and tempers, and you know put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and we're really proud of it.
You definitely gotta be because getting signed at such an early, the initial phase of the band's career is something which is a wonderful achievement. So, Metal Blade Records, I mean, I've been working with them from last almost 12 years. I mean, every time a band gets signed, I know the band is promising. So, how did this all happen, for you guys?
um we recorded a single like just on our own with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
That was Exterminate Filth, which is
Uh-huh.
on Throes again, but re-recorded.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we put that out, shared it on all of our social media pages, and we're just expecting our friends to share it, and there'd be like a little bit of hype. And then later that night, or maybe it was the night of the next day after we had posted it online, at like 2 in the morning, I got a Facebook message from Alex Wade from Whitechapel.
All right.
And at first I was like, all right, well, that's pretty cool. So let's see what's going on. And opened the message, and he just really liked the song, and he liked the band, and he felt like people should hear it. So he took the liberty on himself to contact Metal Blade, and he was like, I'm going to talk to them, but I can't make any promises.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of weeks went by, and we got on the phone with Metal Blade and just discussed like where the band wanted to go and like our goals, and kind of what they might have in mind with us if they did want to sign us. And we just took it from there. It all came into play, and everyone still is, and at the time was super hungry for it. So like we would have done like whatever we could to make the Metal Blade thing happen. It was crazy to us that it even became an option, or they even like considered talking to us on the phone.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's about it with that.
That's cool because it's great to see that Alex might, Brian is the mastermind for all the bands he signs at Metal Blade. So I'm glad that, you guys got this opportunity. I was in fact listening to the album from last, around 4 days, and talking about the sound, it's quite obvious that you guys are meant for bigger stage. I mean, you guys are meant to play in front of good number of people. So damn good songwriting, I must say that.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that.
So, denial to, exterminate Phil to this, it's a trajectory from, let's say, somewhere from the local band to on an international level. So again, the expectations are something which increase because the label works their ass off to promote you guys. So you guys released a single. How has been the response so far from that?
Um, it's actually been a lot better than we expected
Mm-hmm.
because we feel like Path of Reflection was it kind of just stands out on the album to me personally, at least, just because it's got like a more upbeat feel,
Mm-hmm.
and the solo is very like rock and roll. It's definitely like a classic solo, and so we didn't know how people would feel after hearing the old version of Exterminate Filth and then Justice Through Retaliation, which we put out when we signed with Metalblade,
Mm-hmm.
or announced it rather. Um, yeah, but it was overall like it was really good response. People seemed to really like the song and like the lyrics and like the I don't know. It's pretty good response. We were surprised, and it surpassed like the views that Justice and even Exterminate got,
Ah,
and that
cool.
was really cool.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, talking about the sound of the album, I mean, it's got some good amount of variation. So if you had to put this, you know, under a category of how it sounds like, what genre would you choose?
Is crossover considered a specific genre?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's go with that.
Okay, the reason I asked you this question was the very first song, Blindfolded Death, had plenty of extreme metal influence, which comes mainly to the guitar. So that's the reason I wanted to know, like you talk about crossover here, and here I got a feeling of extreme metal influence. So what made you guys, do this right on the very first song of the album?
Um, it's such an extreme song, and I don't know. I feel like if I were to put that in my CD player, like if I go to the store, I see that album cover
Mm-hmm.
with all the purples and reds, and Blindfold of Death on the cover, and I see the song title, Blindfold of Death. It kind of relates to the cover. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it in, and then it's just like right off rip, creepy noise, and then super death melody, and then it kind of like each song kind of has a different style throughout the rest of the song. So even if people put in Blindfold of Death and don't like that song, there might be something else on the album, like in the next track, that they can at least appreciate or
Right.
yeah.
Ah, that's really cool. And your vocals on the tracks have got some really good variations. I mean, I can sense a lot of influence from your peers or from, let's say, your idols. So when we talk about your vocals, what's been like the major influence on your voice?
Um, for like the mid range, maybe like highs you could call them that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know who I got that influence from. I kind of just like I've only been doing vocals for Culture Killer for a year. Originally, like on Denial, and even when we released Exterminate Filth the first time, I was playing bass.
Yeah.
Um, so I've only been doing it for a year, and when I started practicing, I knew I had to find like a niche. I couldn't just like try to imitate someone,
Mm-hmm.
and so I kind of just tried to like get something like really spitty and like throaty. Um, Maybe like drawing from more of like a hardcore influence or like a thrash influence. And with the lows, that influence is Black Dahlia Murder like all day.
Okay, that sounds cool. And you're basically the level of focus you guys have put on lyrics is very important. I'm glad that a band like you have put a lot of effort in that, because every time I come across a debut album, the music might end up being mind blowing, but the lyrics suck. Okay, and here we are talking about the different kind of stuff happening in the society, happening around the world, from drugs to racism to everything you guys have captured. So is this like your idea to be diverse on writing these different small concepts?
Yeah, like we all like bands that might their lyrical content might be fantasy or like um like taken from a movie, like influence from a horror movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
We all we listen to that stuff all day, but for some reason, well, not for some reason, there's this hip hop album by Kendrick Lamar called "To Pimp a Butterfly," and
Okay.
that album really resonated with us because it was really socially aware and it just had really great storytelling and perspective. And it wasn't just him talking about himself and like how he may have changed. He
Mm-hmm.
also talked about how he used to be and like how he became a new and maybe even better person.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought it was cool, especially the timing, like the timing with everything going on, especially with race. Like
Right.
his timing for that release was impeccable. So we felt like it was kind of our duty almost to bring or just shed light on like these social issues,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have a conversation with someone like a random person. You might bring up those topics.
Yeah.
They have no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But like they turn a blind eye to it, or whatever media source that they go through like doesn't want it to seem like it exists at all, you know.
Right. Right. I totally
So
understand.
so maybe if we can influence someone or some people's opinions on certain matters in the world, or um, allow them to even know that those matters exist,
Mm-hmm.
that's a job well done in our book, you know.
Yeah, yeah, totally get that, man. And it's glad that you guys got to do that. And I got to give credit to, I mean, the Austin and Kenny as well, because it's great to see that layering which they have been easily, able to capture, let's say, the essence of the sound. Because, your first actual studio recording, I'm sure for you guys, I mean, even though you have done Denial, how was it like? What did you learn from them as being part of what's happening in the studio? Because this is very important for you for your future releases.
um I that whole experience of being in the studio was one of my favorite things about this album. Being locked in a room with no windows for weeks on end, living off like gas station food. Um, I don't know. They just showed so much dedication and care for our album, which is really special because they didn't have to do that, you know.
Right.
Um, some people would rather just take the money and give you a product that you like.
Hmm.
But Kenny and Austin didn't want anything to leave the studio that they themselves weren't satisfied with as well.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I'm trying to think of different things that we've learned from them. Austin's just such a cool guitar player too. Like he helped out with some of those solos as well.
Ah, cool.
Um, or at least with the flow. He has such a good producer mindset.
Hmm.
Like if we were stuck on something or something just sounded weird, like it maybe sounds good live but didn't translate into recordings well.
Uh-huh.
He would be like, well, why don't you try this or try this chord or play it lower or higher,
Hmm.
and we just mix and match different things until we got something that we weren't expecting, and it sounds awesome. And I don't know, they're just really open minded too. Like we I think they knew after we started recording that we're not just trying to make like a death metal album. Like
Okay.
there's so much on, like different
Yeah.
things on here.
Right, right.
There's so much you almost have like free range of things that you can add into or
Yeah,
take away.
yeah. Wonderful, man. Wish you all the best for the tour. I hope many people come in and listen to you guys and support you by buying your album. I mean, I really I'm very happy to see the end result coming from you, and I'm glad that that there's much more left from you guys in future to even explore some more. So probably down the road when you guys head to Europe, I'm in Germany right now, so it'll be great to see you guys live here.
Oh, that'd be incredible. That's a huge goal. Just go to Germany, even if it's for a week. I'll spend whatever money I have to experience that.